For me, it's like, what was the quote? The quote was, I found it very funny about her accent because I've got a very soft accent. She's obviously Glaswegian.
Mate, that was a fucking... In fact, I'm putting this in the video. That's Josh Aveste's Fiona Harvey. Or what is her actual name? Martha.
Martha, yeah. We call her Martha. What a TV show. Baby Reindeer.
Baby Reindeer?
Baby Reindeer.
Oh, I've got a little list for you.
You've got a lovely arse, Baby Reindeer.
Oh, yes, he's got that. In fact, do you know what? You do give me stalker vibes sometimes.
Well, it's not the first time I've been told that, to be fair.
Nice. Just makes a change, like me not being one of them judge that wears the thingy reading that out to you. You
could do it. You could pull off that wig. I'm surprised you don't have one at home, to be fair.
You think I could pull off a judge?
Yeah. Oh, it's good to be back, isn't it?
It's great to be back. And before we get in to the preview, or the review, sorry, of last night's game, I just got a little list here. Let me know if you want to add anything to it.
Yep.
Get fish and chips, go to the arcade, sunbathe on the beach, visit Sea Life, check out the local shops, go and take a picture with the upside down house, trampolining, anything else to add? So this is obviously
get some rock.
A list of things that me and you would rather do in Brighton than go and watch that absolute fucking disgrace of a football team at the Amex. True?
What a joke. Yeah, absolutely. I can think of quite a few more.
Hold on, I've got one more on here.
Any more?
Poach players and staff from local teams.
We don't do that.
We wouldn't do that.
We would never do that in a million years. And what was brilliant was Mark Cucurella comes in, he gets the John Cena tweet afterwards. Absolutely loving it. Do you know what? I've actually got a lot more respect.
Did we ever get to the bottom? Sorry to interrupt you. Did we get to the bottom of that tweet?
I think it was it wrestling related? Was it because the players were wrestling him all game? Was it Tariq Lamptey giving the old people's elbow?
Yeah. Well, we'll speak about that. We will speak about that. Obviously, last night, the European... Listen, do you know what I've always said? What's it about?
Pochin, you've always said.
Pochin, I've always said.
You've always said that. Yep. And you've always said that Chelsea will come good.
Mate, listen to this, right? It is not about how you start, it's about how you finish. And that I've just made that up on the spot there.
Yeah.
You've never heard that,
And you know what? You do say that usually to your ex-girlfriends as well.
Yeah, exactly. Winning is not about how hard you can hit. It is about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
Who said that?
Me. Just made it up there.
I love it. Yeah.
Top
you are a lyrical genius.
Top of my head.
We said that you were Eminem before. Maybe you're a bit more Plan B now.
Ooh.
That's a bit blast from the past, isn't it?
Plan B was a real, like...
He's talented, Plan B.
He is talented, but he's like, that was a real change in the music he was making. Do you know what I mean? He went from like Charmaine. Yeah, about a bloke accidentally noncing some bird at the train station, more or less. Let's have it right. And into like, she said, I love you, I love you so.
Oh, that's wow. Good, mate, honestly, I thought I was looking at him right there.
You never thought I could go that high, innit?
I don't think he could. He was a good singer.
He's a great singer.
He was a really good singer.
Great singer. Yeah. Let's talk about the game. How are you feeling? Because I've heard a few sort of conflicting reports. Like, I was watching our friend George Benson earlier. Always watch a bit of George Benson. Shout out.
Love him.
And he was saying he was quite happy with the way we started the game. I'm going to be honest, mate. I was texting you in the first 10 minutes and I was like, oh, these look bang up for it. Crowd seemed bang up for it.
Yeah.
I felt that it was a good sort of 5-10 minutes before we even started to get a little bit comfortable. Like, I felt like they were pressing us very intensely. And if ever I was looking at a game, once the game had started and thinking, oh, this could be the one. This could be the one we drop points in. It sort of felt like that in the opening stages to me. But once we got a foothold in the game, you could see the confidence grew, couldn't you?
Well, yeah, but it was 2 shots on target in the entire game. So I don't really know. I know what you're saying in that they were putting pressure on us. And maybe it was more the crowd and the players and the attitude as opposed to sort of the actual play.
I don't actually mean the play. I just mean like a couple of times, like up one side, Mudryk, we get it in our own half, opportunity to break, Mudryk gets it, and he's just forced off the ball, no space. So then we go down to the other side and I'm like, right, okay, Palmer now, same happened again. And then when I've just seen those 2 little passages of play within the space of 2 minutes of each other, I'm thinking, oh, is this going to be the story of the evening here? Them wanting it a little bit more than us, do you know?
Something's flipped, hasn't it? Because in a weird way, at the start of the season, we were breaking teams down quite early, scoring goals, and then fading in the second half of the season. What the fuck has happened? Because I feel like that's completely flipped now. I feel like at the moment now, we're getting better in the second half. So obviously, the Forest game is one. The Man United game is one that sticks out as well. Obviously, Brighton, we capitulated a bit in this game, but very unfairly.
Tell you what we're showing.
Bit of grit.
Bit of grit. But what would Roy Keane call it?
Bit of heart.
What would Roy Keane or maybe like Brendan Rodgers call it?
Tell me.
Great character.
Great character.
Great character.
He is so shit as a pundit.
Who, Roy?
I think, do you know what? Maybe what we should do is do a video ranking pundits on Sky Sports.
Ooh.
Because there are some in there that are
Like
absolute
it.
dog shit.
Like it. Or we could just copy what every other YouTuber does and do a video ranking YouTube pundits.
We won't do that.
Nah, fuck that. We've not got the time. I'll tell you who we have got time for. Cucurella.
What has happened to this guy? He's become like a bit of a superhero. He's become my favourite player.
Oh, mate, he's become my favourite person. Yeah. I prefer him to my daughter.
Yeah, it was a pen, by the way.
Mate, I've got the name written down here. I can never get it. You're more articulate than me.
What's this?
Buena
notte.
Buena notte.
Which actually means good night.
Kinder Bueno.
Yeah, like Kinder Bueno.
What do you prefer, white Kinder Bueno or dark Kinder Bueno?
I probably prefer white Kinder Bueno, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But do you know what? In a weird way, I quite like a Kinder Egg.
My little one likes Kinder Egg.
There you go. Yeah,
I like a white Bueno.
Yeah, fair
Slam
enough.
it on the desk. Easy white chuck. It was a foul, wasn't it?
It was a foul.
Am I right to say that Cucurella won the penalty?
Yes, because of his body movement. I know exactly what you're trying to say. Like, he got his body in the way of the ball.
I feel like the leg was a little low to the ground.
Yeah,
I feel like if you were naturally trying to avoid going down, I feel like your leg comes up a little bit higher.
Yeah.
So like I've heard people since the game saying, "Oh, it wasn't a penalty. It wasn't a penalty." For me, it was a penalty.
Why wasn't it a penalty though? If you're trying to explain the other way,
because you won it.
Because you won it. What? Because he has a slight sliver of the ball and then completely takes out the match.
No. Fuck the ball. No, I'm not saying he won the ball. I'm saying Cucurella won the penalty.
Yeah, but that's what penalties. That's how it works. I mean, that's literally what penalty is.
Right. I'm trying to think of a good example of a penalty. But quite a lot of the penalties you see, like, all right, Sterling, when he won the penalty against Leicester, was it? Just clattered, taken down. He did not win that penalty.
There was one against Burnley as well, didn't he? He got clattered in that game. Yeah.
He didn't win that penalty. No. He got clattered.
Yeah.
Cucurella there, in my opinion, won the penalty, right? He saw the foul and thought, I'll have that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But in my opinion, it's a fucking skill. Nothing wrong with it. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. No. But I don't know.
Another assist that would have been for him, eh?
Yeah. But before we get into all that, I want to give a huge shout out to today's video sponsors, Manscaped. Summer is fast approaching, and if you want to look as good and as well groomed as I know you've been thinking I look, you need to head to Manscaped. And the good news keeps on coming because there is a link in the description to this video. Once you hit that link, you need to use the discount code JoeyKnight. That will get you 20% off plus free shipping. And my go-to with Manscaped has and always will be the Performance Package 5.0. Now, I know you guys watch for the Chelsea content, but let's have it right. You also watch for the facial hair. You like the way it's groomed. You like the way the tash just cuts off over the lip. And how do I do that? It's all in the Performance Package, my friend. First up in the Performance Package is the Lawn Mower 5.0. That is your go-to for all your body hairs, and the best news is it is waterproof. So not only can you have a sing in the shower, you can now have a shave in the shower. But what about those places that are a little bit harder to get to? I am talking the nostrils, I am talking the ears. Well, for that, you have the Weed Whacker 2.0. And after we use that, we are going to dip back into the Performance Package and pull out the Crop Soother Ball Aftershave Lotion, which means you can say goodbye to your chafing because this will keep you smooth and fresh all day. Not only that, but the Performance Package 5.0 also comes with a complimentary pair of lovely Manscaped boxers. Here's what you need to do. Hit the link in the description. It's going to take you to the Manscaped website. Once you are at checkout, put in my discount code JoeyKnight for 20% off and free shipping. It does not get better than that. So make sure this summer you are well groomed and you are groomed by Manscaped. What did I say?
What did you say?
It's not about how hard you can get tackled in the box. It's about how hard you can get tackled in the box and then pop up with a fucking beauty of an assist.
That assist was
that came off the training ground, didn't it?
It did. Do you know what? He smacked that ball as well, didn't he? That wasn't like one of those Professor Lupin crosses. That was a fucking direct ball. And then the header, it almost does defy gravity in physics for me. There's some weird, sort of movement. Like I've done headers like that in a game where I'm sort of like, I see the ball being pinged over to me, and I'm like, oh, I'm just going to sort of glide this over to the corner of the goal. And do you know what happens? It goes over the bar. It sort of, I mean, maybe this is my footballing ability as opposed to Cole Palmer's, but I don't think I could have looped it in the way that he does. It was a beautiful header. Did he mean it?
Yeah, definitely meant it. 100% he meant it. No, I'm not. That's not sarcasm, nothing. He 100% meant that. He knew what he was doing. The second I was able to realise the weight of the header, right? When it just hit his head, not even near the goal yet, I knew that was going in.
Yeah.
Because I could tell by the weight, by the flick of the eyes, lovely. Absolutely lovely.
And like I say, more like that, have we? We haven't seen him do a lot of headers, have we? This season.
The
only one that springs to mind is that perfect hat trick that he got.
Yeah.
I can't think of many other headers that he's got this season for Palmer.
What was that? Who did he get the hat trick?
Was that
Who
Everton?
did he even get Everton? I was there.
Was that Everton? Was it?
Yeah, it was Everton.
Yeah.
I was there. Yeah.
Because then he got the fourth, didn't he? So you actually ruined the perfect hat trick.
Yeah.
Because it's just a perfect four.
That's it. Obviously, we're 1-0 up at that point. Yeah. And then not long after that, obviously, there's a situation where Mudryk has to come off. Nkunku comes on, and you could look at things and you could think, well, there you go, blessing in disguise. But it wasn't, was it?
No.
Because
we've got to feel sorry for my guy.
Lamptey.
Yeah. Now,
I'm not being funny, and we'll speak about the relevance that it ended up having in the game when we go on. Can you look at that at all and deny that was deliberate from Lamptey?
This is the ultimate problem, mate, with VAR, isn't it? And thank God the Premier League are finally going to vote on whether we keep it or not. Because quite frankly, and I'm very interested to see what the comments have to say about this, by the way, about whether we even want VAR in the first place. Because quite frankly, how many wrong calls have they made this season? And also just weird, like they'll look at something, then they won't look at another thing. Like this obviously was looked at, but deemed not to be a significant enough error to be able to warrant a red card. But you have to say, when a guy is doing, as I say, can you smell a little what the Rock is cooking people's elbow? When he does that on Mudryk, my boy Mudryk, honestly, mate, I felt like commuting down to Brighton and giving him a piece of mind myself, Terry Lamptey.
Yeah.
I was going to do it. That's how much it hurt me. It was pretty serious.
You could probably get it pretty quick at that time of night.
Yeah, you could, yeah.
55 minutes, I reckon. Easy.
I was considering it. I filled the car up, petrol, Ultramax, because I wanted to get there quickly. Thought, get down there, pretty sharpish, and
weapon of choice, if you were
just go for the fists. So.
Yeah.
Just keep it. Maybe,
keep it casual.
Maybe go for the knuckle dusters.
Keep
I'm sure
you've
had a few pair of those in your time.
Keep it casual. No comment. Although I am getting a lot of messages at the moment from people telling me how they want to beat me up. So
yeah.
If you want to message me nice things, yeah? Otherwise you get blocked. Yeah. I thought it was out of order.
You would beat Tariq Lamptey in a fight, wouldn't you?
I'd beat anyone in a fight.
Would you? Was there anyone on the pitch yesterday that you're concerned about in the ring?
Not yesterday, but going back, Premier League history, I don't think I could take Papa Bouba Diop.
Do you think Wayne Rooney in his prime would have beaten you in a boxing match?
No.
Is there any other YouTube, not YouTube, sorry, footballing boxers?
Yep.
Go on.
Curtis Woodhouse.
Yeah.
Played for, who did Curtis Woodhouse play for? Forest, I think. Curtis Woodhouse. Might have played for West Brom.
Yeah.
Do you remember Curtis Woodhouse? Football?
I don't, mate. I've got no idea who you're talking about.
Curtis Woodhouse. He played Football League. He might have even played Premier League. He won, I think, an English title as a professional boxer after his football career.
Wow.
One that you will remember. Do you remember Leon Mackenzie?
Yes.
Played for Norwich, scored that goal at Carroll Road in 2005 against Man United. Do you remember? Norwich got a famous 2005, 2004-2005 season. Norwich went down. They got a famous win that season. I think it was 1-0. It was at Carroll Road, and it was against Man United.
Wow.
Leon Mackenzie that day scored the goal for Norwich, but the Mackenzies are a boxing family. You've got Duke Mackenzie, he's a boxer, and then Leon Mackenzie finished playing football and went on to be a boxer. So it does happen. Wow. But yeah, no, there's none that could take me.
Yeah.
Look, shortly after that, are we in agreement? Lamptey needs to be off the pitch at that point?
I do think so, yeah. Okay. I do. I think that was pretty significant. I mean, the guy's gone off with a concussion. Yeah. He can't play in the Bournemouth game. So I just
Can he not play?
No, because they have concussion protocols. You have to be out for 7 days after. So, yeah, I mean, to be concussed is a pretty serious contact.
Mate, I've normally, more often than not, when I've got concussion, I've got a fucking beer in my hand within 45 minutes of getting it.
You got to be so careful with those concussions. They're really worried about it in football. Yeah, you don't worry about it. Yeah, that's just your breakfast. Okay, concussion.
They might knock some sense into it. Yeah, bit concerning that for podcasting, isn't it? Boxing, I might end up probably like slurring my words.
Well, you're doing all right.
Doing all right. Doing all right. Doing all right. I've got people calling me out left, right, and centre.
And you're still flowing with the podcast, so you're doing all right.
That's it, mate. That's it. No rest for the wicked. Tarek Lamptey is then fouled, apparently, by Nicholas Jackson.
What was going on?
Our goal ruled out. Nicholas Jackson, the fella that can't header.
Yeah.
It's pretty
easy.
Can't header, can he, Nicholas Jackson?
I mean, Tarek Lamptey's about 4 foot tall, isn't he? So,
mate, like, what the fuck?
yeah. There wasn't a push, was there? There wasn't much going on there.
Well, it's discrimination against size and weight, really, isn't it? Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, if you're bigger and stronger than someone, and you win the header, that's basically, you are just bigger and stronger. I mean, it's that simple. There's no foul
let's
involved.
Be honest, we're on 4 wins on the bounce, yeah?
Yeah.
Could have gone wrong yesterday because of that decision.
Could have.
And let's be honest, mate. What should it be? Should it be 4 wins on the bounce? Should be fucking 5 wins on the bounce.
Yeah. Well,
why?
We all know
why?
the 2-2.
Because of soft refereeing again when someone's jumping for the ball.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, they were getting pretty angry with us in the comments, by the way, about the 2-2. But let's be honest, that was a 3-2 win.
3-2 win.
I mean, it's
mate.
quite clear.
Yeah.
It's quite clear. It should be 5 wins on the row.
Yeah, you be the judge. You be the judge of
Yeah.
that one. But anyway, Christopher Nkunku, I was about to call him Nicholas Nkunku. Christopher Nkunku
That'd be a good combo,
comes on. Do you know, right? Goals per minute.
Oh, he's doing pretty well, isn't he? He's doing pretty well. What was it? You sent the stat through. It was 3 goals in 2 games.
Goals per minute, he's scoring about once every 120 minutes.
Not bad, is
Bearing in mind, he ain't even put his assisting boots on yet. He's playing with the scoring boots on at the minute. He ain't even put the assisting boots on.
He looks so silky with the ball at his feet.
Yeah, and what did I say just before he scored the goal?
You said he was shit.
No, I didn't say he was shit. I didn't say he was shit, but me and my pal Alf are sitting watching the game, and he's got the ball by the corner flag, and like we were breaking on him. And I went, oh, fucking hell, he's good in Nkunku, but he's getting a bit like Sterling, isn't he? And my mate went, what do you mean? I went, oh, he's just slowing down the play way too much.
Joke.
Mate, within about 2 seconds, he puts it in the back of the net. Before we talk about Nkunku, can we just give some credit here? I think 9 out of 10 fullbacks whip that with a bit of height. They placed that off the ground.
Malo Gusto. That ball was almost pornographic.
Judgment.
Yeah.
Bang on.
Yeah.
Vision.
Yeah.
Bang on.
Technique.
Bang on. Bang on. Yeah. Weight of pass.
Yeah. Bang on.
Bang on.
That was perfect. He couldn't have had an easier ball to sort of put into the bottom corner. Christopher Nkunku.
Yeah.
It was, mate, Malo Gusto is a joke. We are so lucky to have found this guy. Do you know how much we paid for him, by the way?
Oh, 25 mil?
Yeah, it was 25 million quid.
Yeah.
That's a fucking bargain.
Yeah.
He's a 19-year-old wonder quid.
Couldn't get his left boot for 25 mil now.
Literally,
Good job.
no,
What's he worth? What's he worth? Everyone goes on about, this player's what's the word?
Devalued.
Devalued, yeah. Decreased. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Get
Decreased, yeah.
I got a few on this. Ironed this before I came out. This was the old seatbelt on. Do you know what I mean?
The seatbelt.
So what's the lesson? What's the lesson?
Steamer.
That's
what you need to bring with you.
Risk your life.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Right.
Risk your life.
I was going for the more.
What would you rather? Risk your life, or people get in the comments and go, "Oh, his top's creased." You'd risk your life, wouldn't you? You know what I mean?
Come on, that is a nice T-shirt. To be fair.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely fit. Lovely fit. Oh, gun show.
Any opportunity you can get.
Today.
Why don't you just pause the podcast for 2 seconds and just give us a complete flex? Get the biceps out. Oh God! Right. How do we move on from that?
I don't really know. Nkunku,
mate. By the way, how many passes were before that pass? We basically Pochball was in full action there, and for everyone that's been doubting, we've never doubted him.
Never.
We've never doubted him once.
Never a bad word.
Nah, never once.
Never a bad word.
But you know what? The Poch ball was in full effect for that goal. What an exquisite passage of play that was.
Poch loves playing against Brighton.
He does.
He loves playing. What is the record against Brighton this season?
Wasn't it like 4 wins in a row he's got against Brighton?
Is it?
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
I'm sure they're pretty gutted about that one.
Knocked them out 2 cups.
Don't worry about that.
Knocked them out 2 cups, isn't it?
Yeah, don't worry about that.
2 cups.
2 cups.
2 cups. League Cup.
How many goals?
Pre-season cup. Did we win that pre-season cup?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, nice.
You didn't get the joke in the middle of that, but that's all right.
Nah.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Nkunku's going to be a huge player for us next season, isn't he?
He really is. And you know what? Like, for as much as I love Mykhailo Mudryk, and as much as we sat on this sofa talked about this in the last show about our left-hand side, maybe the solution was Christopher Nkunku all along.
Well, do you know what? As well, I've got to give a bit of praise and a bit of credit to Pochettino here, because when we're looking at Mudryk coming off yesterday, and you've got Raheem Sterling on the bench,
mate.
Scored in the last game,
mate.
Has been a player of Poch's. Do you know, like Poch, like, you know, like we've got like Poch's go-to men now. Poch is loving up Sterling at the start of the season, you know, and rightly so, because Sterling was scoring and assisting and whatever. And I will give Sterling a shout out in a bit, but he made the right decision. He brought Christopher Nkunku on, and it paid up trumps for him. So when we're talking about his in-game management and things like that, I'm not going to completely like go against what I've said so far in the season. There are still times when I think he's reactive rather than proactive. I actually thought yesterday I would say that was happening, because obviously he had been forced to make the sub before half-time, but it got to like the 60-minute mark, and I'm like, right, come on, Poch, let's do something.
That was a
do you know what I
concussion
mean?
sub. That doesn't even count.
Exactly. But what he did do is he got the decision right there. He could have brought on Raheem Sterling. Some would say, in terms of a game that you need a bit more certainty with your actions in, some might have even preferred Sterling to come on.
Mate, this is coffin and nails, this is now, though. Like that, like if you are Raheem Sterling sat on the bench, who, by the way, there was a tweet mid-game that came out, by the way, a bit of a briefing. I don't know if this is breaking news, but a tweet came out.
We'll call it breaking news.
Yeah,
breaking news, hit him with it.
Exactly. That Raheem Sterling was considering his future at Stamford Bridge. And that is very telling, bearing in mind what happened in the game. Christopher Nkunku comes on the left-hand side. Mate, that was the right call. You have to say, Raheem Sterling now, I think, is very close to the door. I think he couldn't have been closer to the door.
What is he? Is he second choice? Is he third choice?
I think he's third choice.
Third choice.
I think it could be even further down than that, if you think about it.
Mudryk Nkunku.
Yeah,
Jackson,
yeah, exactly.
I'd rather have Jackson.
Well, think about next season, we're going to have Osman potentially, or another striker. Jackson is probably going to go over to the left-hand side. I mean, he's going to be right down the pecking order. We don't need him.
Honestly, I've been saying this for a while, but this sort of feeling grows stronger by the week or by the match day. I'm not that bothered, Osman-wise.
I'm
not that bothered.
Yeah.
Of course, mate, like, if we get him.
Striker, yes. Osman, question mark. Because if it's going to take 100 million plus, and Gyökeres or someone similar to that is available for 50 million, or Šeško, maybe Šeško's the way to go.
It might not even be 50 million, mate. It might be a case of fucking 20 mil and a player that we need to get rid of anyway.
That's what I mean.
Wrong.
But then also, like, please keep Trev. Please keep Connor.
Absolutely desperate.
I'm begging these guys
Trevor
now.
Chalobah. Absolutely desperate. I was having this conversation yesterday. We were watching the game, me and Alf, and he was saying like where we need to address, and I'm like, mate, honestly, like if we signed 0 players in the summer but kept hold of some key ones and also moved on some ones that need moving, I would be cool with it. I would be cool with it, mate. Bookies don't give odds on things like this, but if you were a bookmaker and you were making odds on this, the odds of Chelsea, or should I say this, touch wood?
Yeah.
Go on, touch it. God, not this, not that wood, the other one.
Sorry. Yeah.
The odds on Chelsea having 50% of the injuries or the days missed through injury next season, having 50% of what we've had this season.
Thank God I touched the wood there, because what you're about to say is a joke.
No, but like,
I can't believe you're jinxing it this early.
Let's be honest, we ain't going to have them that amount.
Mate, we've got European
it's
football.
It's unheard of,
We've got
mate.
Thursday football.
Yeah, all right, and we didn't have Thursday football this season, and we had all that. So it doesn't. What I'm saying is, I don't think we need that many signings. I think maybe 1 or 2 coming through the door I'd be happy with. If we could go and get a number 9 that could probably guarantee us the goals and would fit the system, because these boys, we're really seeing saying up top. So what I'm saying is, I'm not desperate for the signings, but one thing I am desperate for is for us to keep hold of Trev. How many centre-backs are there, roughly, in the Premier League? 20 teams. Each team has, what?
4 or 5 each.
Call it 5.
100, basically.
100 centre-backs. Passing, on the ball, distribution, Trevor Chalobah is in the top 6 or 7
I would go top 10%, but yeah, I mean, you're not far off.
Well,
yeah,
top 10.
Yeah,
That's top 10, isn't it?
100%, yeah.
Well, I would say he's in the top 6
no,
or 7.
honestly,
yeah?
that sounds mad saying that, but I completely agree with you.
Right,
and do you know what's funny is we've got a couple of others in the top 5 as well.
Yeah.
Levi Colwell's up right up there.
Oh, yes.
Badia Shields up there.
Yeah. Yeah, Badia Shields actually pretty decent there.
Yeah.
Defensively, knowing the club, hardly puts a foot wrong. Yeah. One of the reasons why Caicedo's gone like under the radar, not to us and not to you guys, but like to people that probably don't watch Chelsea week in, week out, is because he might not be giving you a 9.5, but he's always giving you between a 7.5 and an 8.5. It's the same with Trev. So let's say, for example, now, high end maximum fee that we could receive for Trevor Chalobah is
40 probably.
I think we both feel though 30.
Mate, he's got 3 or 4 years left on his contract. Mate.
Okay, call it 40.
Yeah,
call it 40. Call it 40. I think 30, 32 roughly, yeah. Call it 40. What do we spend on Disasi?
45 million.
45.
Mate,
okay.
that's the
what
one.
What do we spend on Badia Shield?
30 odd, I think.
30? Yeah. Fair.
Yeah.
Any others?
Fofana was what, 60, 70 odd million?
Exactly, right? So let's just use Disasi as an example, right? If we go and get 40 million even for Trevor Chalobah, we spent 45 on Disasi. The point I'm trying to make here is, can we reinvest that 40 million and get better value for money than Trevor Chalobah? No, we can't.
Disasi was the one that is the biggest mistake we've done, I think, in the transfer window, because it does block the Trevor Chalobah pathway. And if we lose Trev and keep Disasi, I think that is a downgrade.
Yeah, it is. And we're not speaking badly about Disasi.
I like Disasi.
We're speaking highly of Trevor Chalobah here.
Yeah.
He needs to stay. He really needs to stay. And for me, he needs to stay as a starting centre-back in that lineup. We've had so much of this season where we've spoke about, especially early on in the season, me and you were talking about our probably preferred pairing at that time being Thiago Silva and Levi Colwill. And we were obviously crediting the amount that if Levi Colwill can be a sponge in that partnership, the amount of experience he could soak up to then put him instead to be the man that could be the sort of vocal point and lead our sort of defence next season. However it's panned out, that role has sort of been carried out in a way at times, maybe not consistently every match as much as we'd like, but it has sort of transpired that Trevor Chalobah has carried out the role that we thought that Levi Colwill might carry out in terms of learning and becoming a leader in that defence. And next season, if you said to me, right, centre-back pairing, of course, like we want to see how Fofana comes back. I look at Axel Disasi and I look at the fact that Rudiger had an underwhelming first season and he could come good. Badia Shield looks good in pairings where he's got more protection, maybe a more aggressive one next to him potentially, and he can be a bit more nonchalant because he has got that good passing range and he is calm on the ball. But at the end of the day, if you say to me, what centre-back pairing are you starting next season with? I am saying I am going, bearing in mind Thiago Silva's gone, with Trevor Chalobah and Levi Colwill.
Yeah, I thought you'd say that. I mean, that is our best pairing at the moment.
Yeah.
We don't know how good Fofana is going to be. So for anyone saying in the comments that Fofana gets in that team, like, is he going to be anywhere near
He's
it?
sort of the Lavia thing. Let's see.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, 100%. So I do completely agree with you. That is
Fofana's injury, what is it? Is it massively different to Brower's?
Was it ACL?
That's what I'm thinking. Is it similar to Brothers? I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's a pretty significant injury, ACL, isn't it? Like, that's a big worry. I mean, worse than that's probably the worst injury you can get as a professional footballer these days. Mate, there's no guarantee Fofana is going to be anywhere near it. Look at what happened to Loftus-Cheek or, even Callum. Callum is only just getting back to that level. And Ruben is only just getting back to that level. Let's hope he does, mate. I like Fofana a lot.
I do, yeah.
But I like Trevor a lot.
I love Trev.
Mate, the tweet he did after the game, did you see that, by the way, where he was just sort of geeing up the crowd saying thanks to everyone for coming and watching? Mate, honestly, this guy cares as much as Connor does. And we need players that care. Like, I care the most as a fan, just seeing players that want to be there. And Connor and Trev, they desperately want to be there. So why sell them? Don't get it.
Do me a favour right now. If you want Conor Gallagher and Trevor Chalobah to stay, let me know in the comments and smash the like button right now. Let's move back to the match. Reece James, he's brought on. Now, the commentary I was watching, wasn't English commentary. It wasn't actually. You know why?
Why? Because were you using a VPN?
I was using a VPN. You know what VPN I was using though, didn't
Tell
you?
me.
Private internet access.
Oh, God. You're going to have to link again. You're going to have to put a link again.
I probably will have to link them again. Because private internet access, that's what I was using. So, yeah, it might have been like a foreign commentary, but they were speaking English. And they were comparing the kick out to Beckham against Argentina.
I mean...
Strong.
Can I be honest with you, mate? I looking back on it now, that was stupid. It was so dumb from Reece.
It was.
I'm just sat there thinking, Reece, you've just come back from injury. We're all desperate to see you play. We want to see you play the last game of the season because we want to give you a round of applause and show you how excited we are to have you back. And now we're not going to see him, mate. Not for one game, not for 2 games. We're not going to see him for 4 games.
That's mad. Why is it 4?
He's had 2 red cards
since
this season.
No, he ain't.
He's had another red card this season.
He got sent off against Newcastle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now he misses 4 games, which is just
Reece,
like, mate, when I
man.
saw that, I was just like, for fuck's sake, we're not even going to see him at the start of next season now. I hope they do appeal it, but like, let's be honest, mate, it's cut and dry. That was a stupid decision. As I was watching it was one of those ones where I was like, I was trying to watch it with blue tinted glasses and go, nah, it wasn't actually that bad. But when you watch it in the cold light of day, it was stupid.
I agree with you, it was stupid, but I still don't think it was that bad. Okay, and then I also think this, I think, like, sometimes I've watched Chelsea matches and we have had no luck from the referee in the early stages of the matches, right? First half, maybe like I'm thinking to the first half against Spurs that I was at the other day, right? Nothing from the referee in the early stages. And I remember sort of at the time, and to be fair to that ref, he did, right? I remember thinking, okay, if you're that eager to let a bit go and you don't want to be dipping into your pocket every 2 seconds, just keep consistency for the 90-odd minutes we're going to play today. Just keep consistency. I don't care what you do in the next match, match 4, I don't give a fuck. But keep consistency, yeah? And the one thing that I am going to openly say I feel very hard done by is there was absolutely fuck all consistency there. Tariq Lamptey assaulted his man, right?
I agree.
Truthfully, you've had a night out, right?
Yeah.
What nightclub? Nightclub of your choice? Oceana's?
Prism.
That was Oceana's.
Yeah,
exactly. They bought Oceana's. Great nightclub. You want PA appearances, me and Josh? We
charge a lot more than Fiona does.
Oh, yes, we do. So, yeah, like, if you think about it, right, you walk out of a nightclub, someone does what Tariq Lamptey did to Mudryk to you, or someone does what Reece James did.
He's going to prison.
Mate, he's going to prison.
GBH.
He's going to prison, mate. Yeah. He won't be playing that. Well, he might be playing football, but he'd be, spreading balls to Adam Johnson on the wing or something. He's not
Dwayne the Rock Johnson. He was there polishing his elbow. It was exactly the same move.
Yeah,
wasn't it? Like it felt like we were back in WWE days. That was. So there isn't any consistency in the game, mate. Because let's be honest, the Reece James, it wouldn't have sent you to prison, but it does get you a red card on the football pitch.
Does get you a red card on the football pitch.
So unfortunately, that's one of those ones. And you know what? Like that is so silly from Reece because he has so much potential to be playing that last game of the season as a lovely send off, and now we won't be playing.
Also, like, imagine this is completely hypothetical. Maybe it's not even worth me mentioning, but imagine we do go on to concede 2 goals in that game. Reece's injury record has hampered our season massively. That's not his fault at all.
Yeah.
But 2 send-ins off. It's not great, is it?
It's not good. And do you know what? The one that I was comparing it to in my mind was the Gusto one. Do you remember Gusto got sent off against Villa? And that one was a tackle where he went over the top and you go, that felt unfair because he was going for the ball.
Yeah.
This one was, the guys pissed him off very clearly, João Pedro. He's wound him up because they're having a scuffle.
Yeah.
And then he goes through. He's won the foul. Reece James has won the foul. He's done everything he needed to do. And then he does something stupid as that. And it did... I understand why people are comparing it to the Beckham one because it was in a weird way petulant, stupid little kick out. That's what it was. It's a shame.
You know what else as well? Like I'm thinking, if Reece had played that full 90, well, not full 90, Reece had finished the match. If we win that match 2-0, because if Reece is on the pitch, I don't think we concede that goal. So. If we win that match 2-0, there's every chance you might see Reece James in a starting lineup for the next game, but. The more likely scenario is you probably see him get like a good half hour, 40 minutes, something like that. I've got a feeling he might have been on the plane. And I actually think that kick has hindered his chances massively of being on.
You don't think he's going now?
Don't know.
I don't know if he was going to go anyway, to be fair. I think Gareth might have done him a favour.
I don't think he was going to go.
Yeah.
Right? I don't actually think he was going to go.
Yeah.
And do you know what? I'm being completely transparent. we didn't really want him to go. Do you know what I mean? Like, we didn't really want him to go. Just rest, chill out, Cobham. You know, chill.
Yeah.
But I think there was a 50% chance that, you know, if he finishes yesterday's game, bearing in mind he's popped up with an assist in the Nottingham Forest game, comes on, helps us secure a win, locks down that defence, and then puts in another good performance on Sunday, a game that me and you will both be at, I think there's a chance. I think there's a chance he goes. So, But at the end of the day, look, Reece James is a fantastic player. Reece James is our club captain. No players above criticism.
No, we got to be able to call it out. Even for our captain, we have to criticise them the most.
Yeah,
if they're not doing it, and that's why for me, I had to take the blue glasses off because, like, as you're watching it live, it felt like it was nothing. But then you watch a slow mo replay, and do you know what, mate? The slow mos are part of the VAR problem, aren't they? Because it always looks worse. And in real time, the referee was right there. I think even De Zerbi was right there, and he didn't immediately react. One of his staff members came up and sort of put his arms in the air. But, like, I think it was a shame.
So Chelsea obviously held on. There was a goal from Danny Welbeck, set up by João Pedro for a little
Does he always score against us?
He always scores against us. You know how old Danny Welbeck is?
35.
33. That's decent longevity. Bearing in mind, you think about that little team, yeah? Or what would have been the academy team or whatever. And, like, would Welbeck have been in the same Man United academy team? I'll tell you one. Cleverly, Tom Cleverly. He's now manager of what? Watford.
Watford, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, Watford.
What a fraud.
Jesse Lingard, would he have been the same?
Lingard, he probably would have been the same. Ravel Morrison, probably. Nah. Lingard's a bit younger. He's like 28.
Lingard, I think is 31.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Okay. But either way, what I'm saying is, it would have been like, I know what it would have been. It would have been like Gibson, Cleverly.
Yeah. Was Johnny
Makeda, Johnny Evans.
Johnny
Do you see what I mean?
35,
so, I'm just saying. Welbeck's showing a lot of,
He's doing well for a striker as well. You know, Johnny Evans is still doing it at 35 in the Premier League. He's the defender.
Tell you when he weren't doing well though.
He wasn't doing
last
well
night
in general.
He weren't doing well last night.
Did you have the multi-screen on? Were you watching the United game at the same time? No, you're just watching the Chelsea one.
No, I'm interested in my team.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. I was open for a draw in that one.
I think the best result happens.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man United are way off us.
Yeah.
They're nowhere near us.
Yeah. And they're going to drop points to Brighton on the final day of the season, I'm telling you.
They will. And, mate, also, just want to say it now, did call it.
We did call it.
We did call it.
Tell them.
We said the Man United were going to win that game. I apologise to Brian.
Not only did we... I'm not on about that game, though. Yeah. I'm not even on about that game. Let's take our minds back to a video that we did when?
I think it was 8 games the season. It was the Arsenal game.
Yeah.
The Desmond.
Yeah. And we were laughed at.
We were laughed at.
We were heckled. We were castrated.
Mate, we've been castrated all year. People have been slagging us off.
Isn't
all
it
year.
Ironic, right? Isn't it ironic that what is this podcast been renamed? The Toxic Positivity Podcast. Fucking these guys, whatever. That, you know. The way it's panned out, everything we fucking predicted was going to happen is happening. We said we'd finish above Man United. We said we'd get European football. We said we'd be up there or thereabouts when it comes to Champions League spots. And guess what? On Sunday, I think there's a very, very high chance that Spurs absolutely bottle it against bottom of the league Sheffield United, who are one of the worst teams in Premier League history, who now, considering they have nothing to play for and don't know when they're going to be back in the Premier League, might just want to give their fans one last little outing. And Spurs are very Spursy. And I do believe that they could bottle that match. We could end up finishing 5th. And then there you go. Mauricio Pochettino has delivered on his promise of Champions League football, and the only person that fucked it up are Arsenal, a City, a Man United, a Liverpool, for Newcastle. All being pathetic in Europe. No, we like Newcastle.
They did fuck us.
We like Newcastle on this channel. But you lot fucked us. That's the point. Yeah?
They did.
Next season, at the start of the season, when you're thinking, these lot are deluded, just wait. Yeah? Send your criticism in at the end of the season if we're wrong. If not, keep it to yourself.
Mate, I have to say, we know what we're talking about. We do sound and look like idiots, but eventually we do come
handsome
good.
Idiots.
Yeah. You predicted 5th in that video.
And how do we stay so handsome?
Mate, I've heard it's due to a little grooming company.
It's not Manscaped, is it?
God, stop it. We get looked after. We've got a
maybe
little
spell
group.
out Manscaped so they can visit the website. Oh,
I mean, there might be a link in the description.
There's a link in the description, isn't there? Oh, you lucky fuckers. Right, okay. We're going into the final day of the season.
Yeah.
All we've got to do is what? Avoid defeat.
All we got to do is win, mate.
Do we need to win?
Well, yeah, because we want 5th.
Yep, we do need to win.
We have to
need to win.
We have to win. Mate, Bournemouth, they've looked okay. I know Jacob has been saying to you that they're the best team since, I don't know, Ten Hag's Ajax.
Jacob also thought Arsenal were going to win the league. So.
Mate, can we also just have, because I don't want to go too far off the Newcastle Man United thing, can we just have a little very brief moment on Ten Hag? What the fuck was that speech he did at full time? He's an absolute weirdo. And Man United fans at the moment are in Stockholm Syndrome. Why are they backing this guy? I don't get it. I don't understand it. Like with Poch, you can see something. He's improving young players. We're actually getting better. We're ending the season really well. They're 8th.
That's part of Stockholm Syndrome. So anyone that doesn't know what Stockholm Syndrome is, it's when like kidnap victims fall in love or develop like family relationships with their kidnappers, right? So like one of the things of Stockholm Syndrome is like they often like want to go back to the place they were kept when they were kidnapped and stuff like that. Another thing that some of these kidnappers do, right, is there was this guy called Ariel Castro and he kidnapped these 3 girls, yeah? Listen to this. This is crazy. One of the girls had a son, yeah? What was the girl's name?
Don't know, tell me.
Michelle Knight.
No way! No way! Are you trying to tell me your life story?
What was the son called?
Fuck off.
I swear to
No
God.
way.
Her son was called Joey Knight. So
No
Michelle
way.
Knight's my sister. Her son was called Joey Knight. That's mad. But anyway,
are you
the point
okay?
of this,
Are you
point of this
okay?
kidnap story.
What was this like?
It's in Cleveland, Ohio. This is America, yeah.
I mean, your American accent's pretty good.
Oh, goddamn. But yeah, so one thing he used to do is he used to like leave doors open in the house to see if the girls were brave enough to make a run for it, and then actually he'd be like hiding behind the door and stuff like this. Part of this is what I'm saying is like the people they're so regimented, so we can't get out of this. They're so consigned to defeat that they don't even attempt to, and that's almost what you're seeing going on at Man United.
So is it Steve McLaren behind the door? Like in your analogy,
it would be Steve behind the door.
Yeah, fucking hell, I'd be terrified with that. Can you imagine Steve with a big net waiting to come and get you?
Speaking English Dutch to you. You know what I mean?
Come back, Joey, please.
Yeah.
Why was that Sean Connery?
Yeah, that was a weird one. That was a weird one. Can you do any impressions of actors?
All right.
All right.
Oh, you did that beautifully. That was very. I'm watching True Detective at the moment. He's very good in that. Oh,
I like him
he's good. Interstellar.
It's Fugazi.
Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah. Do you know that scene was completely improvised? That wasn't in the script. He did that. That was his sort of vocal warm-ups.
He's the man, Leonardo DiCaprio, isn't he?
Leo and
I know Matthew is, but Leo. And do you know what? Wait, do you know what as well? Oh my God, I can't believe Yvonne just thought this. Do you know that Leonardo DiCaprio was not first choice for Titanic?
Who was it? Was it Matthew?
Matthew
no
McConaughey.
Way. I didn't know that.
Look it up.
I didn't know that. Fucking hell.
Isn't it?
That is really
crazy.
Mad. That's a bit of a sliding doors moment. Imagine what Matthew would have done in his career if it wasn't that. And imagine what Leo would have done. Leo would have been a superstar.
Leo would have been on to... because he had already done Basketball Diaries. Yeah. He had already done This Boy's Life. What's Eating Gilbert
What's the
Grape.
best Leo film?
Mate, like obviously it sort of is... Look, Titanic, Departed, whatever. But for me... This Boy's Life and Basketball Diaries. Have you watched either?
No, I haven't.
Right,
no.
This Boy's Life, right? He's got his mum. She's a bit of a goer, to be honest. The mum, but she's a nice bird, and she gets with this man, and he's basically an abusive stepdad, right? And he beats up Leonardo DiCaprio and stuff like that. Guess who the actor is?
Don't know. Tell me.
Robert De Niro. So straight away there, star-studded name, yeah. A young Robert De Niro as well. He's like 40 odds, right?
Wow.
And then Basketball Diaries. Oh, what a film, mate! He's a good basketball player, but he just loves to get on one, and he's like a bit of a druggie, to be honest. Yeah, he ends up getting hooked on.
Oh, on the kid.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Watch it. Great film. Let's go. Worst case scenario for for the final day, for Sunday, what is the worst that Chelsea can now finish?
Worst case scenario, I think, is 7th.
Yeah.
We could finish now. That would have to take Man U and Newcastle both winning. Newcastle would be above us on goal difference, and we would lose, and then obviously Spurs win. So that would be the worst case scenario.
Best case?
Best case scenario, I get my Sheffield United shirt off and I'm swinging it around, and you'll see me in the East Uppers. Chelsea are doing their parade. I've got my Chelsea shirt in my hand, but I've got the Sheffield United shirt underneath.
Yeah.
They've won. They've beaten Spurs by, let's say, I think a fair result would probably be 5-0. Fair result would be 5-0. You know, Newcastle and Man United don't really care what they do at that point. Chelsea win 8-0, and we're finishing in 5th. And it's only, as you say, because of Arsenal's incompetence that we're not in the Champions League.
There you have it. Most likely finish?
5th.
You do think 5th, yeah?
No, mate.
6th most likely.
If Sheffield United do get that result, that will be... I'd love to know the bookies' odds. We'll have to have a look at Statemate and have a check of that. But yeah, I do think it's most likely to be 6th.
Yeah. And if we do get 6th, considering what he's come up against, the worst injury crisis in Premier League history. I'm not on about Chelsea's. I'm on about 30-odd years of Premier League. No one's ever had a worse injury crisis than Chelsea have had this season. Having one of the harder jobs in football, trying to get a group of players who, let's be honest, don't know each other together.
Youngest team in the league.
Anything else?
Just generally had to deal with a load of shite.
Yeah, coming in off the back of 2 years of turbulence, complete revamp of staff.
Yeah.
There's been so much going. Also, let's be honest, the knife's being out for us more so than ever, really.
Yeah.
It's very popular to sort of steam in on Chelsea at the minute and whatnot.
Even the fans not being sure of him.
Even the fans.
Add that into it.
Spurs connection. All of that said, if we finish 6th, don't get me wrong, you're not like...
I'm not buzzing.
You're you still got trees over you. You're not out the woods. Right?
What grade is it?
It's a solid C.
I'd go B-.
And if we're going on in play, how expectations change, then it's a fucking B, isn't it? Really,
B-. Yeah,
but look, not out the woods, but providing that we don't start next season in the way we started this season. And look, ultimately, things have come together. And I always said the whole way through this season, the whole way, when we were 12th, and everyone was laughing at me, do you know what I was saying? 4 wins. Literally 4. It weren't even that I went, 5, 6 wins. 4 wins. 4 was the number I put on it. And I said, not just us. Do you remember I had this conversation with you? I went, not just us. I said, if Bournemouth do it, if Wolves do it, whatever. I said, if a team round where we are at the minute, 11th, 12th, wherever, 10th, if they put 4 wins together, they're nearly at Champions League football. And people fucking laughed at me. And I said, because coming towards the end of the season, no one wants it. People start losing, whatever. And that's what's happened.
Mate, I'm actually really annoyed at myself because I had that moment after the Wolves game where I came and sat on the kickoff table and I literally did say, I'm ready for him to go.
Yeah.
That was a really dark moment, actually, just in general amongst the fans. The fans were sick of him. It was a shit time of the season. We weren't performing. Just his body language and actually the players' body language, everything was just so negative.
I said it after Brentford, after the 2-2 draw. I said, you know what, I think it's time for him to go.
Yeah, and you know what, we've all been through that this season. I think we all have to come up here and put our hands up and say, we've all had our moments this season. Overall, I think you and I did back him for as long as we possibly could. I feel like I might have backed him slightly more.
Yeah, you probably did, yeah.
I think I might have backed him slightly more. And I'm glad that I did, but I also regret the fact that I didn't trust the process. And I do think this is a general point to make now. We have been called toxically positive, but I do also think that we understood that we're on a bit of a journey and a bit of a transformation as a football club. And I do think...
a bigger picture.
Yeah, and I do think now Todd Bowley's comments in Abu Dhabi are coming true in the fact of he said, well, no, like we banter him.
Even a broken clock's right twice a day, mate.
We banter him, and I know it's all 4-4-3.
Even though I've been a bet twice a season.
Yeah. But I do think
mistake, mate.
He's trying to build something.
Yeah.
And it does take time. And what he's done is he's brought in a team of young players with immense potential that can get better and better and better. And he's built in a management structure that will improve those players. We're going to get the final window of the transfer, promise that we said we're going to do. It's a 4-window transfer strategy. And now, next season is where we judge everyone. We can judge everyone way harsher here. We can judge Poch, we can judge the players, we can judge the board, we can judge the medical team. We look at it holistically and go, If you aren't getting Champions League football next season, then we can start really asking
And I
questions.
think we're ready to make them a promise as well. No excuses. And I'm not calling them excuses, but this season, like we've just stated all the underlying factors.
Yeah.
Next season, no excuses.
No.
We will be there or thereabouts.
I think we're going to have a better squad next year. I think the medical department will be better. I think Poch will come into it with confidence because I do think he'll be there at the start of next season. Spoiler alert. And I think all of the recruitment guys as well, will have learned from their mistakes because I feel that everyone has made mistakes in this. The players have made mistakes. Poch has made mistakes. The recruitment guys certainly made mistakes. Bowley's made mistakes. I think everyone will have to learn from those. And then next season, you got to decide what's going to happen.
And you've got Cole Palmer coming in there that's going to have just scored the winner in the Euros final.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean?
Do you think he replicates what he's done this season next year?
I don't think he needs to.
Yeah.
I think he needs to.
Yeah. Do you reckon it'll be more spread out next season?
Yeah. But when I say replicates, like, I'm just saying, look, before Cole Palmer, only Harry Kane and Frank Lampard had ever scored 30 or got 30 plus goal involvements in a 38 game Premier League season, right? Does Cole Palmer do that again next season? Maybe not. Maybe not. But I tell you what, be on around 25. Mate, remember, this season's going to finish on about 35.
Mate,
do you know
I
what I mean?
I saw a stat the other day, which was Cole Palmer's now got the same amount of goals as Frank Lampard's best goal scoring season ever.
Fuck off.
That's insane.
Joke.
That's true.
Joke.
That's a true stat.
Yeah.
I can't believe that. I can't believe that.
That's
Frank,
mad, isn't it?
one of our best midfielders of all time.
But let's remember one thing. As I love Cole Palmer, man. I love him. He was like furthest advanced player yesterday, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Frank was never that.
No,
and Cole Palmer often is the furthest advanced player, and if not, he's playing off the wing, whatever. Frank Lampard was doing it from midfield, and only in the sort of second half of his career was he doing it from an advanced midfield position. When he was doing it early on, probably in the season he recorded them numbers, you know, he was doing it from like 8. He weren't even 10, he was 8.
Frank Lampard is one of my favourite players of all time.
Frank Lampard's one of my favourite people.
100%. And that's why I bring him back whenever he wants to come back. I'd love to see him involved in the coaching team.
Kukurea,
Yeah.
my daughter,
Yeah.
Frank Lampard.
Mudryk. Oh,
And
okay.
it was Lampard above my daughter, but obviously he had that stint at City. So
Yeah. You can forgive you for dropping him down.
yeah, that's it. People, let us know your thoughts in the comments section. How nice is it to finish on a hurrah? But we've got one final game to go. We will be dropping the preview to the Bournemouth game tomorrow. Do me a massive favour, but also do yourself a massive favour. Head over to Josh Aveste's YouTube channel. It is linked in the description. One big flurry of you guys heading over there will probably take you.
We're very close to 10k, 10,000. Thanks to every single one of you that has followed. It's been beautiful. And you're nearly 100,000 now.
Don't worry about me.
Oh!
Let's talk about the big dog. Also linked in the description is
Manscaped.
Manscaped. Get over there. If you want to be groomed, not in that way. If you want to be groomed,
Drop in a Jimmy Savile joke to end it.
that's what they would have wanted. See you in the next one.